Hi guys, I decided to make this video with my phone, which is not very professional, I agree. However, I want to show you something on my Zeta FX79 Buffalo that many people cannot get quite okay. And this is trimming the plane before um, auto-tuning and so on. Basically what needs to be done according to the guide. First, you need to manually adjust the trim using your RC trims on your transmitter, and then turn the auto trim on function, trim_auto, on pixhawk graphical user interface, and after that switch from manual mode to fly-by-wire A, and supposedly pixhawk should remember those values, the servo values, and adjust your elevons as needed. However, if your servo clevises are not adjusted properly, you will need, and most likely you will definitely always need, to adjust this manually from the clevises. I will show you now how you can do this in just very few simple steps, so that you can make it perfect just every time. Okay, so I've turned the plane nose down in order for you to be able to see those servos and the clevises very well. And here's all you need to do, really that simple. Make sure that your servos are centered first. So connect the flight controller with the servos and your RC, and make sure that the push rods, those guys here, are not connected to the elevons, so that they do not move while when you start initially the pixhawk. See what position they will have. Whether the horn inside, I hope you can see it from here. Probably you can. Once again, I'm sorry for taking videos with my phone, but that's all I have right now. And make sure that they're straight, they're perpendicular to the servo, so that they have even throw on each side. Once you accomplish this, get a piece of heat shrink tubing, and just with diameter enough so that it goes over the plastic clevis. This is important because afterwards we will have to put this heat shrink and shrink it in order not to allow the clevis to disengage while in flight. With elevon setup where you have only two moving surfaces, this will be a big disaster indeed. So without the heat shrink on, you can just leave it in to just leave it loose there. Throw the plane and keep it in manual mode. Adjust the plane, the trims, with your radio, and make sure that the plane flies okay and that you're all set and you're happy with it. Do not, this is important, do not turn any auto trim on. Just leave it as regular, leave it normal in just manual mode. So once you get your trims ready and the plane flies okay, and it doesn't stall, and basically it flies as it should be, then land on the ground. With the plane on the ground and without touching any trims, notice where the elevons actually stay, what their position is. And now this is the very important part. Let's say that you see this elevon, how it is. It has a little bit of up trim, and this is good. This is how it should be. So get a piece of something like a hot glue or chewing gum or pretty much anything, and just place a dab or whatever you have over here. Make sure that it sticks to both surfaces. The idea is to make the elevon stay there while you disconnect the clevis. Then go to your receiver, to your transmitter, and center your trims. Once they are centered, the trims, the servos here will move a bit, but don't worry about it, because the elevons will stay in the same position that they need to be. Then undo the clevises, adjust them by twisting as many times as needed, so that it reaches the hole, it matches the hole exactly. Put the clevis back, and without shrinking the heat shrink tubing, fly your plane again. Do this for both sides and see if it flies okay. Worst case scenario, you will have to do this like probably a couple of times until you get it perfectly right. Once you get it though, just adjust it, then throw your plane, make sure that it flies okay as it should now, and then turn the auto trim on. Basically, you won't have to do this, but if you want to be on, I don't know, on the safe side or something, just turn the auto trim on by switching from manual to automatic to fly-by-wire A, and then this will be it. I've seen many other videos where they ask you to adjust this manually and never use the trim auto function. I personally like it. As a matter of fact, on the Arduplane wiki, they suggest that you do not allow the trims to be more than 20 PWM, like difference. What they say is, if it's more than 20, then adjust it manually. And basically, this is what we do here. I still use auto trim, but I make sure that the trimming that actually the flight controller needs to do is as little as possible, because we don't want it to, let's say, in flight, to disengage, and then the plane will switch into regular normal mode, and God knows what will happen. So now I've done all this, and my plane is trimmed, and all I have to do is complete auto tune once again if I want to. Many people suggest to redo auto tune. Personally, I won't do it right now because it's a sunny day and I want to fly around and see how things go. So there you go. I will now start flying and doing FPV. Thank you for this post. And by the way, very soon I have a Harrier Reptile Harrier 1100 ready. It arrived. I'm still printing a few 3D printed parts, like the one that you see here right now, sort of things like that. I just want to make this plane, the Reptile, as my main plane. This Zeta here is amazing. It flies great when it's calm outside like today. However, if there is a bit of a wind, or if it is gusty and that kind of weather, then this plane is not the best flyer because it flies slowly. It's a glider, really. It's not a combat wing. The S1100 will be a better suited plane for high winds, and this is what I plan on doing soon. Like it's at my place, and I'm trying to make it work, like trim it and check everything else and so on. So guys, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope this was helpful. You can also use this approach with other flight controllers, with APM for sure, since Pixhawk is the I would say bigger brother. Thank you once again, and see you soon.